players enjoyed singing the anthems as much as the crowds. And there we have the Great Britain side, the debut there for young 19 years old Jason Robinson. Powerful centre combination in Paul Newlove and Gary Connolly. But for me, the key to this match will be in that front row. Carl Harrison, Dermott and Furbank. That's the problem area, I think. Needs strong games from those two props, Harrison and Furbank. And the New Zealand side, the prolific point scorer from North Sydney there, Daryl Halligan. We certainly can't give him any chances at goals, but I think Gene Namu, 19 years old, he could have problems with Gary Schofield, but nothing wrong with that pack of forwards, especially the back three, Kearney, Pongia and Tawera Nikau. And Freddie Truman there, a great follower of rugby league from Yorkshire. Very rarely does he miss a big occasion here at Wembley. And a knowledgeable follower too of the game, especially on forward play. And Great Britain well up, 48 tests to 28, but of course if we look over the last 10 seasons with the great rise in New Zealand Rugby League, then I think that's what we really must take into account. Gary Freeman and Gary Schofield just completed the toss and proceedings by Greg McCallum from Australia, refereed the 1989 series between these two. And two very, very experienced, influential skippers here. Gary Freeman, the oldest man on the field at 31 years of age, and Gary Schofield, 40 appearances for Great Britain, the most experienced. And welcomed by everyone, Stephen Kearney and the Hacker. Appreciated by the British crowds, and I'm sure it certainly gets the New Zealand team in the right mood, John.
Yeah, it certainly does, Ray, and I notice in that New Zealand side there's 8 players out there that have played in the Sydney Premiership, and with Greg McCallum refereeing this game, there might be a little bit of an advantage there because you know, he will keep the sides a long way apart, and with the 8 players from New Zealand already playing in the Sydney comp, and they're used to the referee, so we'll see what happens early in the game.
Well, if there's one thing about Greg McCallum, he certainly likes to keep the game moving. He's not a whistler who likes to stop the game. He likes to play advantage, and he likes a good open game. Jonathan Davis just waiting to kick off. So the first John Smith's Test for 1993 about to get underway. The series back in the summer of 1992 was very, very close indeed. Just 2 tests then between them. New Zealand winning the first 15-14 and Great Britain the second 1916. I think this will be as close. Jonathan Davis then to kick off, and we're underway. Freeman to Lomax already. Having a very good tour is this 27 years old prop, John Lomax. Morvin Edwards. Always good to get a full back and early touch of the ball. It's quite cold out there. There could be problems for wings or full backs. Fred Stewart. From the Canterbury club, back to Halligan. testing Devereux. I think that pitch, John, is quite slippery on top.
Yeah, it looks very hard, and we've seen a couple of players in the earlier match slip over, but they'll get used to it, and I'm sure we're going to see an exciting game here.
Chris Joyce, number 12 there, his first full international, 21 years old, from St Helens. Sean Edwards at scrum half, looking to make play, but good tackle by Dave Watson there, the Bradford Northern centre. Betts. Edwards doing the kicking.
I felt that was a bit of a weakness in the New Zealand game that I've caught on telly there. They haven't kicked the ball particularly well, and with Sean Edwards in the Great Britain side, I know that they've got a great kicker there, and that could be one of the advantages that the Great Britain side have on this New Zealand side.
And they've also got Jonathan Davis as well, haven't they, John?
Yeah, he kicked the ball very well in that Welsh game, and so there's two outstanding kickers there.
One man there they've certainly got to keep an eye on, Kevin Iro. Nick Howe, good tackling. Very good tackling there, leading in by Chris Joyce and Phil Clark. Man. That's a good ball from Freeman. Well, Mr. McCallum ruling a knock-on. And here we can see, well, no doubt about it, Mr. McCallum right on the spot. One or two of these Kiwis with us here in 89. Freeman, Edwards, Mann, Watson and Nick Howe. Great Britain's first real attacking position. Davis. One or two of these players, as were the junior Kiwis in their game as the curtain raisers, slipping a little. Very heavy frost here this morning at Wembley. Edwards, Schofield. Oh, that's a good long ball to Devereux. Again lost his footing. But Schofield and Edwards at the hub of things to Carl Harrison. This big Halifax prop forward. Mr. McCallum signals the fifth tackle. Davis looking to put the grubber kick in, but he's got it back. No, Mr. McCallum instructing him to hand it over. Brent Stewart coming away, one of the workhorses of this Kiwi pack. Dave Watson coming up with the ball. Nick Howe. Very quick, very speedy, moves forward, likes to hang out wide, likes to make the breaks down the flanks. The Castleford moves forward. Freeman. Not a good kick. He was harassed by Phil Clark, and he's given a penalty as Mr. McCallum.
Yeah, I noticed earlier in the game Sean Edwards got through very early on Gary Freeman and put a little bit of pressure on him, and then we have Freeman in a kicking situation here. Philip Clark comes through a little bit late, lifts the arm up a little bit high, and the referee was watching it. Yeah. And with Daryl Halligan, he is one of the unbelievable goal kickers in the game, and this is a very, very long kick for him.
Yes, Mr. McCallum just having a word there with Phil Clark about raising the elbow into Freeman. And Daryl Halligan, very powerful kicker from wide out. 6'2", 14 stones 2, and the top point scorer in Australia for the past 3 seasons. The North Sydney record point scorer, 196 points he scored in a season for them, and he's been in terrific kicking form already on this tour. 50 metres out. Hardly any wind down there on the pitch. Strikes it well, but it's to the left of the post, so that's a let-off for Great Britain. Not the sort of kick we would expect from Halligan, but again, John, could it be nerves?
Yeah, well, it could be, but if Halligan misses one goal, the only thing that you can bet on that he'll probably kick the next one, so he's one of those goal kickers that doesn't miss a lot.
Dwayne Mann using the acting half-back position there well, coming away, putting pressure on. Kearney, Stephen Kearney, been one of the successes of this tour, this youngster, 21 years of age, from Western Suburbs. Freeman again at the helm. Namu, just 19 years of age. I was watching Graham Lowe, his former coach at Manly, having a word with Namu yesterday afternoon. And Richard Duckingfield down there on the bench.
Yes, Ray, it's from pitch side, easy to say the conditions are virtually perfect. It's fine, it's dry, barely a breath of wind. But are they? The sun is very low, very bright. Canny kickers will make use of it, and it could be in Great Britain's advantage in the second half.
New Zealand electing to run there rather than the kick on the sixth tackle, the handover. Robinson. Only small, 5'7", but very, very strong around the upper body strength. Carl Fairbank. Twice a tourist down under with Great Britain. Number 10, Carl Fairbank. Clark. Already had a taste of the Kiwis last week with Wigan, as did this hooker there, Dermot. Betts. Both sides keeping the ball moving. Paul Newlove now. Much expected of him. £245,000 transfer from Featherstone Rovers to Bradford this summer, and Mr. John Ward, the touch judge from Oldham, already spotted something.
Yeah, we see Newlove across the back of the ruck. I don't think Newlove's involved in this penalty. It's something behind the back play, and I think they're calling Martin Dermott out, and it's a penalty going to go against the Great Britain side. They've had a very good start, and it's a shame they should give a penalty away.
Yeah, and he's also telling Martin Dermott to quiet it down and to stop yapping back at him. Very undemonstrative referee is Greg McCallum. Very calm, very assured, but he certainly gets his message across to the players, does this Australian. Carl Harrison. Great Britain, good defence needed now. Namu, good tackle there by Clark, opens it up on the outside. Edwards to Robinson, likes to come in midfield. Little claim there for the head-high tackle for Freeman on Robinson. Gary Connolly. Clark doing the dummy down the short side, trying to pull a couple of the Kiwi defenders across, but didn't do so. Good tackle there by Quentin Pongia. Harrison. Edwards, no way through there really. One feature of this Kiwi tour so far has been the good defence. Davis. Oh, that's a good kick. It's a tester for Morvin Edwards. It's swirling away. Well in by Devener, but Edwards did well to take it there. Good eye, good kick there from Davis. But a good catch from Edwards, John, wasn't it?
It was a great catch. That's one of those advantages we're talking about. Edwards got caught with the ball on the fifth tackle, and then Jonathan Davis is in there to take a very, very good kick on the sixth. Great catch from Edwards. Didn't take his eye off the ball.
Freeman to Lomax. Man of the match in the defeat against Wigan. Play on, says Mr. McCallum. He likes to do that. Good run there by Gary Freeman. Watson, the Bradford Northern centre, testing Davis. Jonathan Davis was on this pitch yesterday afternoon, just checking the sun and the shadows. Betts. One or two of the crowd thought that was a great tackle, but I don't think so. Clark. Referee Mr. McCallum keeping New Zealand right back the full 10 metres, but they're coming in very, very quickly. Just still Great Britain 0, New Zealand 0. 10 minutes gone. Tight. Chris Joynt easing himself into his first full match, this Helen's second row. Schofield, a hurried kick, picked up well by Edwards. Marvin Edwards, seen experience over here with Swinton and Leeds in previous years.
That wasn't a real great kick on the last tackle. I think Scully would be better off leaving the kicking to Shaun Edwards and Jonathan Davis. It was just a bit of a nothing kick and didn't put anybody under any pressure and didn't give them a chance to get the ball back.
Kearney, these two second rows, Kearney and Pongia, 21 and 23 years of age, two youngsters, both with Australian clubs, Western Suburbs and Canberra, putting the pressure on Great Britain. That's a good kick too. Davis, well taken.
It might be a little bit hard to police in those kicking situations, Ray, but I thought that was another poor kick. It didn't put any pressure on Jonathan Davis at all. He had all the time in the world to catch it, and you just got to get there when they come down if you're going to kick them high.
Well, I think, John, it was more the chasers never chased it, did they? I mean, that was the problem, wasn't it? There was no one about, was there?
Well, the kick's only as good as the chase, and if the chasers didn't chase it hard enough, well, you've just got to go back.
Beautiful dummy by Gary Schofield. He looks inside. Shaun Edwards couldn't get to the ball, uses the kick. Well, perhaps Schofield might have been better advised to have held on to the ball, but the chance was there. Beautiful break by Schofield. And the Kiwis moving it around now to the other side. Certainly this ball flying around this big Wembley pitch. Pongia. Plenty of pace this second row. Lomax loses it. Knock on. Great Britain ball. I like the way Greg McCallum, John, and you probably know him better from the Australian League, he's talking to the players all the time.
Yeah, I think that's one of the keys to his success. Very poor pass from dummy half there, and he just had to drop the ball.
And he's complimenting players as well when they do things. Connolly. That was good cover. That was good defence there by the big Kiwi there, Kevin Iro. He spotted that Schofield might have a go at the dummy. Robinson coming in, helping the forwards out from the scrum. And another man helping the pack out. Devereux, big man. Fairbank. Good defence by New Zealand. Phil Clark, the switch to Betts, spotted. All of these coaches today using video analysis, they can virtually read everyone's moves. Robinson on the sixth tackle, had to put the kick in, picked up well by Dwayne Mann. That was good covering for a hooker, John.
Yeah, just get in these big games, you've got to do a little bit extra, and Dwayne Mann, he's a world-class player, and he's a good player to have in that dummy half position.
Kiwis having difficulty getting out of this half. This is a good tackling performance from Great Britain there. Joynt and Carl Fairbank. And again knock on by New Zealand, by Tawera Nikau. Having difficulty coming to terms with this ball.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad pass, actually. It hit him right in the chest, and you've just got to catch those balls. They've made a couple of handling errors, and Great Britain's definitely started the game better than the Kiwis.
Oh, that's a good kick! A superb kick! Davis is chasing it! Oh, but well picked up, but offside! Mr. McCallum has given offside. Well, rather a controversial decision there, but I think possibly the offside was more against Jason Robinson, John, was it?
No, I think, looking at the replay there, I think Jonathan Davis just stole one step, and that's all it takes. I think it's just one step in front of the kicker, and that wouldn't make the coach very happy, because they've probably practiced that all week, and to see the guy just grab that one step and not stay onside, it's just a sin.
Yeah. Over to you, Richard.
Malcolm Reilly's assistant here on the bench. The talkback system seems to have been fairly quiet, John. Is it going well?
Yes, it is really. There's just one or two items we need to sort out. I think the kicking game, we're not really putting them into their corners, so we really need to sort that out. But we're really pleased about the defence. We're defending really well indeed.
Thanks, John.
John Keir there, the assistant to Mal Reilly and the director of coaching for the Rugby League.
They've just made another mistake, Ray, on the first tackle, and you just can't do that in these big games. They're giving Great Britain too much ball, and if you just keep giving a good side a lot of ball in their own half, then they're going to punish you.
Jonathan Davis linking up there, trying to surprise open a gap here in this New Zealand defence, but this is tough tackling. And we can see those handling errors there, none by Great Britain. That's great credit to the side. Paul Newlove. But Great Britain really have got to take some points out of all this possession and all this territorial advantage. Shaun Edwards. The kick for Jason Robinson. Oh, he's in! Yes! Jason Robinson in at the corner. His first try on his debut at Wembley. The kick was absolutely precision point from Shaun Edwards. I said they needed points from all this possession, and they've got them. And the little man known as Billy Whiz, Jason Robinson, his first try in international rugby, and it's 4-0 for Great Britain.
Shaun Edwards ran out of players here. He got across the park and there was nothing left, but then the football brain took over. He kicked the ball into space. Jason Robinson's always in with the chance. He might only be a small player, but he plays big.
And didn't he do well to get in there, John, because he was within inches of moving out into touch there. He beats Sir Hoppe, just gets it down before that corner flag. Wonderful effort. And the kick from Jonathan Davis. Been in excellent form this season since his signing from Widnes to Warrington. Had a new lease of life. 36 goals in Test rugby. 49 points with Wales as well in 3 internationals. The sun in his eyes from the touchline. No, not got the accuracy, so like Darrell Halligan, his Kiwi counterpart, none from one attempt.
Shaun Edwards, just like I said, he ran out of players there, and the football brain did take over. It's a beautifully weighted kick. It goes into the corner, gives both players a chance. Jason Robinson in the corner. He can certainly sniff a try out.
And to Edwards, to Betts. So, as John Keir, the assistant Great Britain coach, said, a very happy start for Great Britain. 4 points to nil. Robinson again likes to come in field. Former Hunslet Parkside amateur, Chris Joynt.
It's good to see those the wingers coming into play here for Great Britain. It's a place that players do get fatigued in the second half, and the Wembley pitch certainly drains a lot of players, and if they can get in, take some of the work off the forwards, the Great Britain pack should finish strongly.
Certainly, John, with Wigan here in Wembley finals, you've used that practice, haven't you?
Yeah, well, it shares the work around, and the forwards certainly appreciate it.
Again, well taken by Morvin Edwards. Good positional play. Not the biggest of fullbacks, barely 13 stones, but good positional sense. New Zealand got to haul themselves back into this game. Pongia.
Well, they've probably got to start playing a little bit more mistake-free and getting the ball forward. The big guys up front have got to do a better job than they're doing at the moment.
Well, they've got to retain possession, John, haven't they? As you say, they just can't keep losing this ball. Freeman, the kick. It's a tester for Davis. Yes, just lets it roll out. Of course, he can afford to do that because the scrum, the head and ball now under the laws to Great Britain. And the two coaches there now with the customary walkie-talkie connections to the bench. Howie Tamati himself, the Kiwi, having trouble with the sun.
That was a better 6 anyway for the New Zealand side. I'm sure that would make them feel a little bit better. That's the first time they've put together a good 6.
And Gavada taking John Mona's advice, coming in midfield. Paul Newlove, as big as a second row is this Bradford Northern centre, but much faster. Schofield, another ball to Robinson. Good battle there with Sean Hoppy. Carl Harrison. Good pass to Edwards, keeps it moving. Carl Fairbank, can he get the support? No. It's behind, says Mr. McCallum, not a knock on. Dermott. Betts. I don't think Sean Edwards was expecting that. And touch judge on again, waving the yellow flag, Mr. Ward from Oldham. Number 10, I think, Brett Stewart, and there's the youngster, just 19 years of age, sensational impact on the game last season, signed as a scrum half, but doing well enough on the wing. Jason Robinson. And again, John, another piece of indiscipline puts the pressure back on the Kiwis. Brent Stewart this time.
Yeah, well, they just had a good 6 the Great Britain side. Now they've got the ball deep in the New Zealand half, and they're in a little bit of trouble again.
Carl Harrison edging closer, just 20 metres out. Fairbank started well, these two prop forwards, Fairbank and Harrison. Edwards. Ooh, almost a spear tackle. A spear tackle, of course, banned in the game. Could have been a penalty. Schofield. Dave Watson there, the centre, moved up very, very quickly there. Spotted the danger on the outside, playing the short side. Edwards again. It's a knock on. Little bit of a misunderstanding there. And there, John, I think that tells the tale, doesn't it? 59% possession for Great Britain.
Yeah, they're just losing the ball too early in the tackle count, and they've just got to start to control the game if they want to stay in this game.
But it's Great Britain just leading by 4 points to 0 for all that possession. Just the one Jason Robinson's wrong. Kevin Iro. Not been in sensational form for Leeds, but always a danger here in the Kiwi jersey. Accustomed to Wembley. Freeman. That's a good kick. Sends Davis right back there into his 20-metre area. And that's better chasing too, John, isn't it?
Yeah, they got down there. There's 5 or 6 down there on the chase, and a good chase, and that's the only way to handle that sort of thing. Here's Jason Robinson in the play again. You just wouldn't want to be marking Jason Robinson one-on-one.
He likes to come into the acting half-back position, John, doesn't he?
Well, he's just dangerous whenever he gets the ball. Like I said, you've got to meet him 2 or 3 players at a time, or if he gets isolated a one-on-one situation, he'll probably make a break.
Schofield. Carl Harrison, that was a fierce tackle by Nick Howe. And Richard down there on the bench.
Dennis Betts is getting very wide out there, and he's playing wide on the right-hand side. He's causing a little bit of damage out wide.
Darrell Halligan, good tackle there by Paul Newlove. Richard Duckingfield down there on the bench.
And Peter Boyle on the Kiwi bench. Peter, Great Britain on top with a try in hand, just reward for their territorial advantage, would you say?
Well, once again, just there's been too many errors on our part, and that's how they got the yards. So we just have to cut down the errors, and hopefully we can get the yards.
Do you think you can do that? There's a lot of mistakes being made.
Well, it's a big day at Wembley, so they're focused now, so hopefully we can keep out the errors and make it happen.
Thanks, Peter.
Peter Boyle there, the masseur and physiotherapist, and a good run there by Gary Freeman. That shows his danger. But again, let's congratulate Phil Clark there, the cover tackle. That's where a loose forward should be. Just 15 minutes remaining in this first half. 4 points to nil for Great Britain. Gary Connolly, another £250,000 rated player from St Helens to Wigan again this summer. Chris Joynt. Defences on top at the moment. Edwards. The Kiwis tackling well enough in midfield, John.
Yeah, they are. It hasn't been their defence that's let them down. It's been their ball control. They haven't controlled the ball well enough, and they're just giving the English side the good field position that they need.
Carl Furbank sensibly holding on to the ball there. Really, the players were a little bit wide of him. Freeman again, looking to make the break.
He's a real competitor, Gary Freeman. Every time he's got the ball, every time he's in a game, he'll make a contest of it, and he's in there trying all the time, and he's just a great little guy to have at first receiver.
And he's quicker than he appears, John, too, isn't he?
Well, players tend to hang off him because he does unload the ball a lot, and they tend to overread him a little bit, concentrate on the runners, and then he's able to slip through.
Dwayne Mann at the acting half-back position, launching these forward. Pongia, that's good run. Kearney, the big second row. Oh, again throws a wild pass. Again what Peter Boyle, on the bench there to Richard Duckyfield, was saying. Errors letting the Kiwis down. Great Britain at the moment, the more professional performance. Here we see the error. Kearney, good run, long striding. Here he is. Hands off Newlove, but the ball, and here's a chance again to Connolly. He puts the kick forward, it's Robinson in the race. The youngster's there again. The youngster's there again. For his second try, Jason Robinson. And it was his Wigan centre, Gary Connolly, that put the little chip kick in. But Robinson, blistering pace down the outside there. 28 minutes gone. And the 19-year-old teenager adds his second try to that Test record. 8 points to nil for Great Britain.
Philip Clark got away down the short side. There's nothing on there. Very smart play, a good kick into the end goal. Then it becomes a foot race, and Jason Robinson just burnt Sean Hoppy off.
Well, Hoppy there is protesting that he got his hand to the ball first. We see the kick from Connolly, a very, very good kick. Now it's a race. Hoppy's there. Oh no, Robinson got the ball certainly just before the in-goal line. Tremendous try, tremendous run there from Robinson. And he's a powerful little man, John, isn't he?
Well, like I said, he's a little man, but he plays big. They're not making things easy for Jonathan Davis with the goal kicks either. Both the tries have been scored right in that far corner, and it's got to be a hell of a good kick from over there.
It's a difficult kick too, because there's very little wind out actually on the surface of the pitch, but as it rises 20-30 metres up, the breeze swirling around under this roof then comes into play. Just watch with this kick. No, to the left again. It's very, very difficult to weigh up how to take the kicks. But those youngsters there, many from Keighley, over 1,000 youngsters came down from Keighley to see this game. They'll be happy at that scoreline. 8 points to nil.
Yeah, Philip Clark here, he just gets in the space there. A missed tackle by Pongia. Gary Connolly in support. Nice ball, weighs up his options, kicks the ball into the corner. Says Jason Robinson, if you're fast enough, get there. Good try.
And again, Great Britain coming forward. This is a good half hour by this Great Britain side. Edwards. Phil Clark. Just 10 minutes left in this first half now. Fairbank. Carl Harrison. These two props actually, people were a little bit wary of whether they would come up with the goods, but they are doing, aren't they, John? Harrison and Fairbank.
Yeah, Fairbank's always been a good player, and he's played in the back row, but he's always been strong enough to play up front. And Carl Harrison, he's just one of the big guys that does get the ball forward, and they're doing that much better than the Kiwi side at the moment.
And allowing Shaun Edwards there to come up with kicks like that, kicks going forward. Gary Freeman, the Great Britain, the New Zealand scrum half there, more of a defensive role. As we can see, Great Britain 6-1 with those scrums. And that's an indication of the errors made by New Zealand. Namu, just another 19 years old youngster playing with the Manly club in Sydney. Kevin Iro. Morven Edwards. Stewart, never afraid to take the ball up, this number 10 from Canterbury, the Addington club in Christchurch. Oh, another lost ball is picked up by Connolly. Error after error by these men in black. Edwards to Schofield, switching it quickly to Betts. And here we see another one, Connolly picking up another handling error. More pressure on this Kiwi line to Furbank. Looking to get the ball in, likes to turn his back on the opposition, likes to slip the ball. Not much chance that time though. Schofield. Back to Carl Harrison, to Davis. Looked for the sidestep, but to where Nick Owen Freeman were able to read it.
They've got another 6 tackles here, so this will put a lot of pressure on the Kiwi side. And points will usually come.
And interference by Gary Freeman. He wants him off at the tackle. And this could be 2 points for Great Britain.
Yeah, Gary Freeman here, just got to get away from the tackle player. Just going for the big stall, and there's no need to do that.
So Davis's third kick, and the easiest one so far. Gary Freeman not very happy with that, but it won't influence referee Greg McCallum. Jonathan Davis making a good mound with the sand. One of the modern vogue of instep kickers. "36 goals in a Great Britain jersey in a short 4-season rugby league career. And won his place back after a bad groin injury, which ruled him out in the tour to Australia. Davis then, 15 metres out, 2 points. No problem for the little Welshman there at fullback. More joy for the supporters. And the score of 10 points to 0 for Great Britain, just 6 points remaining. And really, John, apart from a couple of kicks, we've hardly seen New Zealand in the Great Britain half.
Yeah, well, they've had a lot of problems getting out of their own half, and Howie would be a very worried coach at the moment. They haven't had a pattern that they've worked to down in their own half. They've switched from one side of the ruck to the other. They just haven't looked like they've really known what they were doing.
But there's plenty of time. I saw them at Central Park last week against Wigan. They were trailing 18 points to 7 after 44 minutes, and they came back with a spectacular performance to win. It still can be done. Just 5 minutes left in this first half. Chris Joyce settled down to his first full international match, and here's one man who has, Carl Harrison. Big 16 stone 7 powerhouse of a prop. Edwards, the kicking game. And that's all Great Britain have to do. They're leading 10-0, just push New Zealand back into those corners.
Well, they just played a very good 5 tackles. They were controlled from the kick-off. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. They moved the ball down. They got it 40 yards down the field, and then Edwards kicks a nice one into the corner, and that's the way to play the game when you've got a 10-point lead.
And just look at that, John, 71 tackles already made by New Zealand, and we're not yet to half-time.
Yeah, they'll be doing it tough in the second half, and I'm sure we'll see a bit more kicking into that sunny corner.
John Lomax from Wellington and Canberra Raiders. A lot on this man's shoulders to earn a nick out. They lose forward, drafted in from the Castleford club. New Zealand could do with a couple of runs from him. Kearney to Namu. Well knocked after by Schofield. Still going. Kearney again. Oh, almost the interception by Paul Newlove, but the knock on. Again, loose ball by New Zealand here. Man to Kearney. Not looking. Referee Greg McCallum just getting the scrum straight. And offside. Having a word with Chris Joint, the Great Britain second row, not bound in at the scrum, must stay in the second row and lose forward. Halligan. So, not a good kick, but the first pressure on the Great Britain line. Daryl Halligan. Can New Zealand now hold the ball for these 6 tackles? Man to Lomax. Good tackle. Richard down there on the bench.
Britain bench row with Alan Tays of Leeds. Alan, this is all going according to plan, but 2 opportunist tries, really, aren't they?
Yeah, they were well taken tries from young Jason Robinson, but the key to it all is our forwards and keeping theirs well pinned back. You know, Cal Allison's had a great job on Johnny Lomax. New Zealand were looking for a big game from their forwards, but as I say, our forwards have contained them well.
Thanks, Alan.
Good play now from the Kiwis, putting this sequence together. Good ball to Watson. Watson again, it's Freeman who's in there. He's got that gap on the outside to Halligan. Oh, the dummy from Freeman! Just a metre short and in touch. But that was Gary Freeman at his best. And just look at that. The congratulatory pat on the side there. Well, not for Sean Edwards, but certainly from John Devereux. They're like 2 little tomcats, Freeman and Sean Edwards here. But Devereux praised him for that. Just look at Freeman go here on the outside, showing that extra yard of pace. But Devereux has him. Davis is there and into touch. And Greg McCallum just calling the 2 together. Good refereeing this. Oh, Sean Edwards won't let him any friendship. There's no love in war, John, is there? So the temperature rising here, especially between these 2 scrum halves. Phil Clark. But that was New Zealand's best attacking move, and it was again Freeman who inspired it. Devereux, good tackle by Devereux, saved the situation. Just 2 minutes remaining now in this first half. Schofield. Gary Schofield been directing play well. Joint. Again, good defence in midfield by New Zealand. They've just been caught out on those flanks. Davis. Oh, that's a towering kick by Davis from his own 20-metre area. Sends Morvin Edwards right back to his own line. That was some kick, John.
Certainly was, and the chase was even better. It was an easy 80 yards, and that's the way to play the game.
And there we see 1 minute Great Britain under pressure in their 20-metre area. One kick from Davis back on the opposite 20-metre area. Freeman. Namu, good pass, but well read again by Paul Newlove. The possession there, Great Britain, and that's why they are 10 points to 0 in the lead.
They've used their position very well too. They've been in control. They've known what they were doing, and the halfbacks are just controlling the game.
Namu trying to catch Robinson out of position, but ball bounces into touch. Jason Robinson not too bothered about that. But what a debut. 2 tries. And there is the half-time hooter. No time for the scrum. Those 2 tries from Jason Robinson. The 12th and 12th minute. Make that man a happy man, Gary Schofield. It's been warm work out there, but Great Britain, John, can be delighted with that performance.
Yeah, it was a very professional first half from the Great Britain side.
And Ray and Clive Chilsey down there on the field, I think, with Mal Reilly.
Malcolm, so far, so good.
Yeah, we're playing very well. I think there's a significant difference in the two sides. So far, we're controlling the ball far better. We're being patient. We've taken the opportunities that's come along. We've still a lot of work to do, and we've got to pick the intensity up in defence in the early part of the second half and carry it through.
And what about the contribution of Jason Robinson?
Excellent, absolutely excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah. Not allow New Zealand a sniff of that line. Harrison. Edwards. Marvin Edwards, a little difficulty with that kick from Shaun Edwards in the sun on that half of the field. Very difficult here. Half the pitch in shade, half the pitch in sun. Suddenly players running out into the full glare. Kevin Iro, not really had much space in which to run, but when he does, he can produce the tries. Stewart. Mr. McCallum telling the Great Britain players to get back the full 10 metres. Nick Howe. New Zealand, another knock on. This time by Quentin Pongia. Schofield. Well, that was an ambitious ball, a bit too ambitious for John Devereux, and really a wasted pass, John.
Yeah, well, that's the first error that Great Britain have come up with in their own half, and you know, they didn't really need to go. They didn't need to push the play like that, and they're better off just settling down, playing mistake-free, and doing what they did in the first half.
Yes, I think Gary Schofield thought that John Devereux was much further up than what he was. But New Zealand ball. Watson to Namu. Need a good second half from this 19-year-old youngster. And a quick play the ball. Dwayne Mann.
All right, lads, come on, let's start this. Play.
Hoppy.
Let's start it out, lads. Come on, 12. Play.
New Zealand pressing strongly now. Namu and Freeman trying to get to work that ball out wide. Iro, good pass, but a forward one. Iro trying to put a one-handed pass to Namu. Big man, he can hold himself up in the tackle, offload the ball, but this time, as we can see here, a forward pass.
Wasn't a lot in that, I didn't think, Ray. There was, you know, the referee was a little bit further back too, and it didn't look like there was a lot in that to me.
Devereux. Good tackle there by Namu. Edwards to Connolly. And Clive Tursley down there on the pitch.
Richard Bolton, the New Zealand manager. I guess it's been a lively 10 minutes in your dressing room.
Oh no, the boys were trying to relax the boys really. The problem is they're a little bit tense. Perhaps occasions got to them because they're not playing to the ability that they're capable of.
A lot of unforced errors.
A lot of unforced errors, and we have to rectify that in this half.
What about Jason Robinson and the problems he's caused Sean Hoppy on that flank?
Yeah, that's right. There's good kicking going from the English team, and we just got to do something to get around that one.
Shaun Edwards. Oh, it's missed, but well taken by Gary Freeman. Instinctive reaction there from the little Kiwi skipper. And again, sensibly played the ball to himself. Shaun Edwards was not marking him. Well, Carl Harrison, who's 16 stone 7 pounds. He's a big man. And Gary Freeman, not the biggest of fellows, but my word, what a heart under that jersey.
Yeah, Shaun Edwards did the right thing there. He showed a bit of good discipline, and then Big Carl came in and threw an arm over the top and then pulled the jumper over. He just wouldn't let him go in the tackle.
New Zealand in possession. John Lomax, the Maori prop forward. Stewart, the other prop. Not really broken the Great Britain midfield defence yet. Pongia. I think the Kiwis could do with one or two of these forwards running out a little bit wider. Kearney. Just 2 more tackles remaining in this sequence. Man to Freeman, to Namu. Back inside now, then Watson is an elusive runner in midfield. Oh, that's a good tackle. That was a good tackle by Carl Furbank, the 5th tackle. Freeman. Not a good kick. New Zealand frantically trying to keep this ball going. It's to Stewart. The kick. Well covered by Davis. I think he took a knock on his ankle as well. Ooh, that was a crunching run by Devereux. He really can help the forwards, this powerful Welshman, can't he, John?
Yeah, he certainly takes the ball up the middle strongly, and hell of a lot of contact there with Nick Howe, but unless you wrap the player up in the tackle, the contact's no good. Jonathan Davis is in a little bit of trouble in the back play here as well.
Fairbank once again putting that back to the opposition, looking to offload the ball, couldn't quite do so. But Great Britain came out of that pressure well, and Edwards once again knocking the Kiwis back to Halligan. He's got Edwards on his outside. 2 good tackles there by the Wigan duo, Betts and Clark, chasing the ball. Morvin Edwards. New Zealand have got to move this ball. They've got to score very, very quickly. They've got to put pressure on this Great Britain side. Pongia. Good service with the Canberra Raiders side, number 12 there, Pongia. Kearney. I like the looks of this number 11, Stephen Kearney, John.
Yeah, he's a player that's played very well last season in Sydney, and he's being tipped to captain the Western Suburbs side next year. He's a big guy and he's very mobile.
And that's a bad mistake. The ball kicked direct out on the full there. And he knows it.
Yeah, the kicking has been a real problem with the Kiwi side. They haven't kicked the ball very well, and they haven't had a lot of thought go into their kicking game.
So, Shaun Edwards. Good scrum. Oh, Jonathan Davis. Well, you don't sidestep like that when there's 2 tacklers like Watson and Morvin Edwards around, and that's a good run. A good kick by Schofield. There's Edwards going for it, but picked up again by that man, Gary Freeman. Perfect example there of the sweeper in operation behind the line. Freeman lurking there just for that kick. Halligan. Dwayne Mann. New Zealand did well to get away from that, John.
Yeah, they did. They were prepared to throw a couple of passes down there on their own try line, which means there's nothing wrong with their confidence. They were prepared to move the ball, and their problem is they're losing the battle of the big men up front. That's their whole problem, and unless those big guys can establish a run up in the early rucks and get a little bit of go forward on, then the backs are always going to do it tough.
And they've been losing the battle of the territorial advantage. Substitute there, Richie Ayres, Sonny Nicol warming up. I think at some time we'll see some of them on, but possibly just a little cold sitting on that bench there at the moment. Robinson. One of the problems, of course, John, under international law, you can have 4 substitutes, but once the sub comes on the field, then no one else can come back on, can he?
Yeah, I feel the international board are a little slow with that rule. In club football, there's we can use interchanges and bring players on and off, and it becomes a more tactical game. But the international rules say once you're on, and once a player goes off, he can't be replaced.
So you have to be very careful when you put those boys on the field. Richie Ayres and Nicol. It looks as if Sonny Nicol could be coming on shortly, though. That's an indication of the errors from New Zealand. 9 scrums to 3. Good tackle there by Edwards, keeping good grip on Namu. Iro. Typical bullocking run there from the big, powerful Kiwi. Nicol getting instructions there via the walkie-talkie from Malreilly. In my day, the coach used to sit at the side of him on the bench, but more sophisticated now. Freeman to Kearney. Kearney halfway through. This is the best spell of pressure now from New Zealand. Trailing by 10 points to 0. Freeman again at the hub of things. Watson. Oh, good tackle. Well spotted by number 9 there for Great Britain. Martin Dermott. The 5th tackle. Nick Howe. The chip. Well read by Davis. Oh, and he beats him. Good play by Jonathan Davis. One of the advantages of being small, I think. He ducked underneath, fooled the pair of them, and the pressure off. And that's a high tackle against Stephen Kearney. He accepts it. But Mr. McCallum just very quietly saying a little bit high.
Yeah, Dennis Betts bring the ball out here strongly. He goes very high, Kearney, and the technique wasn't real good. He got twisted around the wrong side.
Very aggressive player, this man, Kearney, the western suburbs, and Great Britain physio, David Fever, attending to Dennis Betts. And Sonny Nicol on the touchline. Harrison. Carl Furbank. And a bloody nose there for Betts, but otherwise, okay. Great Britain, John, playing very assured, very composed rugby in midfield with these forwards.
Yeah, they are. The two Carls are doing all the damage up front. Carl Fairbank and Carl Harrison. They're setting the platform for the rest of the team. They pick up 5-8 yards every time they take the ball forward, and it's easier for the backs to play if they can do that.
The Kiwi cover moving up very, very quickly on the outside. Sonny Nicol, number 17, preparing to come on. Davis. A very, very high kick. To Edwards, he's missed it! Devereux's in for a try! Oh, a tragic mistake by Marvin Edwards! Combination of the two Welshmen. Jonathan Davis lofted at a great height, and Devereux came in from the blind side. The Edwards touch, and Devereux was in for his 4th try in Test rugby. Good combination there from the Welshman.
A great kick this. It went right out of the picture, and Edwards didn't even get anywhere near that ball. He wasn't even close. But Jonathan Davis, this is the key. He really sticks it up there, and you can't kick them too high in this game. The chase was good. Devereux, there he is, coming down at the rate of knots. Fullback not even close to the ball when it came down, and a well-deserved try.
And he was in that patch of sunlight there, John, wasn't it? It just hovering over the back of him.
Well, it was always going to be a tricky place to catch a ball once you kick them into those, once you get them up in that sunlight.
Jonathan Davis then, 1 goal from 3 attempts. Underneath the posts. Great Britain then, 14 points to 0 in the lead, and Carl Furbank, number 10, coming off, and Sonny Nicol, the St Helens second row, who can play prop, about to come on, as Davis takes the kick, accepts the 2 points, and Great Britain now comfortably in the lead, 16 points to 0. .54 minutes gone. And here we see Sonny Nicol has been in sparkling form this season for St Helens. A strong runner, and the sort of man, John, who might find the gaps as the Kiwis might tire in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think so. Carl Fairbank was one of the real heroes of that first 60 minutes, and Sonny Nicol's another player that can take the ball forward.
But I think this is Test rugby, isn't it? It's a 17-man game now, John, isn't it? You know, it's sort of horses for courses, players on when you want them.
Well, you've got to use your substitutes at the right time, and you've got to have good people on the bench that can come on and do a job for you. And the Great Britain game, it's very well structured. They know what they're doing. The big guys are getting forward like Carl just did then, and you know, he's done a really good job here, Malcolm Riley.
Dare I say it, John, but did Richard Bolton, when he was being interviewed at half-time, put his finger on the button when he said that the Kiwis, the occasion might have got to them.
Well, it isn't any. I know the Kiwis try to play down this stadium, but it's a real special place to play rugby league, and they just haven't been up to it today. They haven't been good enough.
John Devereux had a tremendous spell for the Manly club this summer in the big Sydney League, and there we see the try. So Freeman to Namu. And Richard Duckingfield, perhaps you can let us know about the Carl Fairbank coming off.
Yes, with Carl Fairbank on the Great Britain bench. This is a good performance, Carl, by the Great Britain pack, isn't it?
Yeah, to just keep it going for the 80 minutes, you know, there's no complaints. We've just got on top of them now, and we've just got to keep it going.
Was that the plan, a good steady performance, a good bedrock?
Yeah, it's, you know, it's built through the forwards, the game plan, and the forwards have got on top now, and I can see us winning more points in.
You just here because you've done enough?
It's just giving some of the lads a chance. We've got the game won now if we just keep the defence up. So, you know, again, the lads another 20 minutes.
Thanks, confidence from Carl Fairbank.
Yes, Carl Fairbank, a rough, tough farmer, and I can remember him talking to me for an hour on a plane in New Zealand all about sheep. So, Greg McCallum pushing Great Britain back to that 20-metre line, and New Zealand have got to get their act together here now. They've got to move it wide. They are doing. Stewart, good driving run there by Brent Stewart. But certainly up the front row, the likes of Fairbank and Harrison have really had the better of Stewart and Lomax this afternoon. Freeman to Dave Watson. Likes to run in a broken field. These two centres, Dave Watson and Kevin Iro, they've never been launched for the Kiwis, have they, John, so far?
No, they've lacked a few clean backline shots, and they've tried to isolate Kevin Iro and get him one-on-one, but the Great Britain backs, their defence has been very good, and they've been up and in amongst them. They've done a very good job defensively, the Great Britain backs.
Kearney. New Zealand now desperate to keep this ball moving about to Lomax. That's a good run by Lomax. The last tackle. Mann to Namu. It's a good kick. Davis read it well. Clever little kick there by Gene Namu. Switching play back to the blind side, and Gary Schofield, a knock on his shoulder there. 41 caps, just 5 behind them. Great Britain record by Mick Sullivan, and number 17, Jason Lowry, warming up. A forward perhaps with a little more pace than number 8, John Lomax, who's coming off. Jason Lowry. Perhaps inject a little more pace into the Kiwi pack. Devereux. Just 20 minutes remaining then now in this first John Smith's test. Great Britain in the lead, 16-0, and deservedly so. They've taken their chances, they've organised themselves well in midfield, and when necessary, like this, have moved it out wide well. Schofield. Betts. To Edwards. That's another good kick. Testing Edwards, Morgan Edwards this time, he's up to it. But that's another thing about Great Britain, they've got a good variety of kickers, John, haven't they? I mean, you've got Sean Edwards, they've got Jonathan Davis, and Gary Schofield can do kicking as well. Yeah, the best two kickers in the side, though, are Davis and Sean Edwards, and they've just come up with another mistake, this New Zealand side. They're just self-destructing at the moment. And here we see Morven Edwards, his eye on the ball, he takes the ball, moves it well, and then he loses it. Schofield seems to be okay with that shoulder. Connolly to Joint. Great Britain edging nearer now. Another try would be a disaster for New Zealand. Schofield again to Edwards. Trying to launch Sonny Nicholl. This is the position Nicholl likes. Strong runner, powerful runner.
They just look like a side that's going to score another try, the Great Britain side. They've been working away really well, and they've just got down there and they're controlling things well. They look like they're setting up though, and it wouldn't surprise me if they end up over the line.
Chance for the drop goal from Jonathan Davies, and it's there. Well taken by Davies. Obviously a well-worked ploy in training. The ball quickly back to Davies. Over the post with ease. 61 minutes gone, 17-0 to Great Britain.
Yeah, well thought out play. They were in control. They looked like to me that they were moving the ball around, trying to set something up, and as it turned out, it was a drop goal, and well taken by Jonathan Davies.
Jason Williams coming on for Edwards. And this good run again by Robinson. Oh, tremendous run out of defence there by the teenager. And all of these Great Britain players now wanting to get in on the act. Edwards to Clark. Loses his head guard. Good run. Oh, not the best of passes. Play on, says Mr. McCallum. To Gary Connolly. Strong player. Been a very hard contest between the four centres. Not one of the four has really managed to make that clear-cut break. But of course, Connolly did put the kick in for the Robinson try. That's a good chip kick. Freeman, he's missed it. Oh, well picked up there by substitute Jason Williams, the Canterbury Bankstown player.
Jason Williams was a player that came on against Wigan and turned things around a little bit, and very, very good runner in broken field, and he just showed a little dash of his speed that he took off then.
It's a kick. And certainly the coaches at the moment really sprinkling these substitutes on. We're having another one. Paul Newlove, he's wincing there, he's in some pain, but certainly these two coaches really in Tamati overworking themselves on the benches there now, the substitutes bench. As Chris Joint comes off a very satisfactory first full match, and Richie Ayres, the Leeds forward, comes on. Kearney. Play it, screams Mr. McCallum. Tanamu. Iro. Something needed from these two centres, Iro and Watson. To Jason Williams. Stewart. New Zealand could do with a little more support play here. The forward tending to drive on his own. Now then, Freeman, what can he offer? Cuts inside. Oh, he sends Dwayne Mann. No, meter short. Good defence there again. Freeman wants to get back quickly. Again, good defence by Great Britain. Dennis Betts reading the situation well. To Namu, to Freeman, looking for Iro, finds Watson. Back to Nichow. Nichow's got some space. Can't get it away, the last tackle. Good clamping of the ball by Dennis Betts. Hands off him, says Mr. McCallum. To Namu. Kearney. Oh, good ball to Pongia. Namu again. Kearney can't get it away. Tremendous tackle there by Hooker. Martin Dermott. Real pressure on Great Britain line there, John.
Yeah, it was just great commitment in defence from the Great Britain side. They had to defend 10 yards out from their line. They had to defend for the 5 tackles, and they came up with a tackle on every occasion. Just great commitment in defence.
There'll be one or two tired bodies out there, I would think. It's been a hard battle in the middle. Some very big forwards. Richie Ayres, fresh player. Just look at those tackles made. 130 by New Zealand, and even a considerable number by Great Britain there. Edwards. Oh, well taken. Jason Williams in the full-back position. 15 minutes left for New Zealand to get themselves on the scoreboard. 17 points to 0 for Great Britain. Halligan. I was watching the Great Britain squad training at the Knowsley Road ground, St Helens, in midweek. They concentrated on defence. They were moving in quick around the play of the balls, especially to cut off the trickery of Gary Freeman, and it certainly worked this afternoon. Harrison. Paul Newlove, I think it's more cramp than anything. Schofield, that's a good pass to Betts. Good cover by Nichow. David Fever working away there. The Great Britain physiotherapist, Sonny Nicholl, presenting problems there out wide now. Edwards to Schofield. Oh, that's a good pass to Connolly. Can't get the ball away. The 5th tackle. Davis looking for a drop again. No, not this time. Not this time. Huge grin on the Welshman's face. But well worth the attempt again, John, I think.
Yeah, well, what it means is they get the ball back from the kick-off if he's good enough to drop the 1 point over, and that's always an advantage, especially, you know, when you've got the football, it's hard for the opposition to win the game. They just can't get the ball and they get frustrated.
13 minutes remaining then for New Zealand to do something in this game. Stewart's. Nichow to Namu. And you know, John, I don't think we've had a break down the middle of the field, have we, from a New Zealand forward? Such has been the tightness of this Great Britain defence.
Yeah, they found the going very tough in the middle of the ruck, and just starting to come up with a few errors now. But I think the main thing in the Great Britain's players' minds would be they'd be saying to each other, let's just try to nil them, don't let them over that try line.
Robinson. Richie Ayres gets the ball away well. Dermott to Betts. Devereux took some containing this afternoon. Darryl Powell there, number 14. Schofield, that was a good dummy. Oh, he's got Devereux inside him. The ball's loose, play on, says Mr. McCallum. Oh, Gary Schofield, he just couldn't take it. I think he was surprised that Mr. McCallum waved play on. It was very low down. The bounce beat him. What a good try it would have been.
Yeah, it was touched in flight there, and Gary Schofield had a little bit of fatigue there, and just a little hard to bend down.
And Jason Mackey coming on for Nichow. Namu. So all the substitutes then taking part in the game.
Jason Mackey's a player that's his form's improved on this tour. He's really come on, and it's good to see him getting out here at this stage of the game and adding to that experience.
One of the few players from the Northland area to represent the Kiwis, and there's another good run by that man Kearney. Certainly he's had a good game. There he is, Jason Mackey. Good kick by Namu. Davis is across and well covered by Davis. That's the value of that extra yard of pace there. Namu, he can run, but Davis a yard quicker. Good play by the teenager.
Yeah, Namu just takes the odds here, a little kick ahead. Jonathan Davis a little bit slow to pick it up, but once he decided to get over there, he got over nice and quickly.
Iro. 10 minutes remaining. New Zealand having to throw this ball about now. Trailing 17 points to nil. Freeman. The pass to Iro. Good tackle. Good tackle by Richie Ayres. Stewart. Well, a knock on. Trying to force just one pass too many. Of course, John, I think we can expect that now from New Zealand in this last 10 minutes, because they've got to pass the ball, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got to push the passes a little bit, but you know, that they might have been a little tough with the call there too. Philip Clark appeared to knock that ball down. The Great Britain have got the feed, so it's just been ruled as a knock on.
Robinson shrugged off Namu there.
He's had a quiet second half, Jason Robinson, but I guess after 2 tries in the first half, it is a chance to just to back off a little bit. The play hasn't gone his way, but he's just a player that, you know, if he gets in the game, he's going to do something for you.
Connolly. I think even though New Zealand are trailing by 17 points to nil, there's been nothing wrong with their defence in midfield. It's been very difficult to make openings, John, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, there haven't been a lot of clean breaks in the game, and just lack of control in the forwards with the football has cost New Zealand greatly.
To Halligan. Well covered. Iro, the run around with Freeman. Been well looked after this afternoon, Iro, not being able to use that powerful bulk of his. Pongia. Jason Lowry to Namu again. Ooh, that was almost an interception, but it was a high tackle. And I think Gary Schofield realises what he's done, but yeah, see, high tackle, John.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of an intercept in his mind there as well, and it just put him in between players.
I think what a magnificent game Greg McCallum's had, John. He never seems to get too excited. He doesn't lose control. Always in control of the players, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he understands the game pretty well too, and he talks to the players, as you said earlier, and you see Stephen Kearney putting the ball down.
He's certainly picked up those New Zealand errors this afternoon.
Yeah, it has. You just can't afford to make that many errors in a test match.
Great Britain looking for a try in these closing minutes. Davis, oh, sheer pace from Davis. Now then, will he go all the way? No! Oh, wonderful run. Passes the ball badly. Would have done well to have held on to that ball, Jonathan Davis. But let's not carp after a run like that. That was a brilliant attempt there by the fullback. But New Zealand replying here. Namu. A lot of controversy over Jonathan Davis' selection as a fullback. Was he strong enough? Was he big enough to play the role? Well, I think he's proved it. He's certainly clever enough. Shaun Edwards, he almost lined up with the Kiwis there. Offside. So a let-off for the Kiwis. Alan Tate, the last man wanting to get into the action for Great Britain. A Scotsman, a full-back, but coming on for Carl Harrison, the prop forward. Dwayne Mann, 5 minutes remaining, 17-0. To Great Britain, and if I know Coach Mal really, he'll want to keep a clean score sheet against his side here. Tremendous tackling performance. Freeman, can he scheme something in these closing minutes? To Kearney. Perhaps the grubber kick. No, electing to run. Pongia. Great Britain bringing Robinson in the game again, settling for the win. Great Britain won the last series here by 2-1. Just Shaun Edwards and Paul Newlap substitutes then. 4 minutes remaining. Good pass. This is better from New Zealand. Jason Williams, an exciting runner. This Canterbury bounced down back. Freeman. Dare I say it again, he won't want reminding. The knock on.
That just about sums up the New Zealand afternoon, doesn't it? They've played very poorly with the ball, and they haven't controlled things. And you've just got to take your hats off to the Great Britain defence. They've been magnificent.
And John Devereux coming off instead of Carl Harrison. The signal was that number 8 there, the big number 8, would come off, but I think a knock to Devereux has preempted the situation. And Alan Tate in the full-back row. Jonathan Davis to the centre position that he's accustomed to play with Warrington. And Alan Tate already in there. He's got Gary Schofield. He's going to tack him on himself. Good run by Tate. Superb run by the Scotsman from Kelso. Puts Great Britain on the attack again, looking for a closing try. 2 minutes remaining, 17 points to 0 to Shaun Edwards. The kick, the chase for Robinson. No, not a fortunate bounce. And Shaun Edwards judged the man of the match for his direction, his midfield expertise, and I think as much as anything for keeping Gary Freeman a little quiet, John.
Yeah, he nullified Freeman, and he did play behind a pack that was going forward all day, which always helps a halfback, but kicked the ball magnificently. He controlled things, moved the ball to the backs well, and really had a good thinking game.
Play on, says Mr. McCallum, but not now. Offside, knock on. Just the substitutes running pretty freely at the moment. 1 or 2 tired men. Dwayne Mann limping there to the scrum. Brent Stewart, the number 10, will be tired. And there we see the knock-on from Betts, and Darryl Powell offside in the bargain. Namu. Good tackle by Powell. Kearney. Good pass. Oh! The knock-on again.
Jason Mackey, a little ball over the top. Concentration not the best there from Sean Hoppy.
And just look at those handling errors. 10 for New Zealand. You cannot afford that in Test match rugby. That's the tale of this Test. In stoppage time.
You've just got to look at the other side of that stat, though, and with the three handling errors from Great Britain, I mean, they certainly deserve a pat on the back for controlling things like that in a big game.
Freeman still talking, still yapping to his side, to Hoppy. Good cover there by Fell-Clark, good loose forward play, coming across, keeping his eye on the winger. Into injury time now. Freeman and Namu combining. To Iro. But again, a good tackle on the outside by Tate. There's the hooter. The final score, it's all over. Great Britain coach Mulreilly insisted all week that this was the best New Zealand side his team have faced in 6 years. To be relieved to kick off with a win. His reorganised pack there, Dennis Betts, has done well for him. Jonathan Davis, a gamble, an experiment at fullback. He's proved his worth, and so has Sean Edwards. Gary Connolly, good tackling in midfield, and Carl Harrison, a powerful game there at number 8. But I think somehow this Test series could still prove exciting, and none more exciting player there than Jason Robinson. He does well to be delighted. 2 first-half tries that set Great Britain on the way to victory, and they were crackers, weren't they, John?
They certainly were, and they really deserved this series. They pushed Australia close in the World Cup the last time I was over, and they deserve to win this game.
And on the pitch, I think we've got Jonathan Davis.
Jonathan, he couldn't have got much better than that.
No, just to win the Test is great, but the nil, I mean, it gives a big, boost for the second and third Test now. So, this is history now. We won up, and we've got to go to the second one. Cheers, man.
Congratulations from Sean Edwards. There was a debate as to whether Jonathan Davis should be in the team or not. I think that debate's over now.
Well, I hope so. Just keep on playing for Warrington, and wait until he picks a second Test team now.
Were New Zealand disappointing?
Not really. I think we attacked it. Our defence was superb, and we knew what they were going to do, and we blocked them out. It was as simple as that. They'll come again in the second Test, and we've just got to be up, ready for them.
Jonathan, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks very much.
Jason Robinson, the scorer of the first 2 tries, is joining us here. Jason, that must be pretty much how you dreamt it last night.
Well, I didn't think it was going to come true, but it has. I'm very pleased.
You were up against one of the most feared wings in the game in Sean Hoppy today, and you danced around him twice.
Well, yeah, Sean is still a great player, strong, very fast, and I had luck on my side today and scored 2 good tries.
And great credit to your Wigan teammates, Sean Edwards and Gary Connolly, for the kicks.
Yes, really thanks to all the team. They played brilliant today, the defence was great, and everything just come as we wanted it to.
Has this been an easier victory than Great Britain expected?
Well, we don't think it's an easy victory. We know there's going to be another 2 hard tests, so we'll just take this one now. We've won 1 out of 3, so hopefully we'll do the business when the next one comes.
I think you'll be in those 2 tests. Well done, Jason.
Thank you.
I think a sense of relief there from this Great Britain side. They had anticipated a very, very hard Test matches. The bookmakers had this match very, very evens. But it was those 2 tries from Jason Robinson that really set the Great Britain side alight. And of course, when you win the first Test, John, you're in the driving seat, aren't you?
You certainly are, and it puts the pressure on the opposition, and they deserve to win today, and very nice new jumpers they've got on too.
Very nice. But some old players in there. Gary Schofield, one of Great Britain's all-time great players, 144 points in a Great Britain Test career. One of the newer lads there, number 3, Paul Newlove, perhaps more prominent today in defence, containing Dave Watson, and Richard down there on the bench.
The successful skipper Gary Schofield, the fans are happy about that. Can New Zealand do better? 2 tests left.
Oh, well, it wasn't a matter of the way New Zealand played, it's a matter that the Great Britain contained them. our defence is very solid. That's what we set out to do. And as I said at the end of the day, if the forwards get on top and the back's going to score tries, and who better to do it than Jason Robinson? You know, Wembley's definitely made for him.
But New Zealand made an awful lot of handling errors, didn't they, particularly the first half?
Well, that's what Preston's favourites, I'm afraid to say. You know, if you put pressure on anybody, if they'd have put the same pressure on us, then we would have coughed up the ball. They did it, we put the pressure on, they split the ball, and we took the chances when they came along.
Man of the match, Shaun Edwards, but I thought the forwards particularly played really well.
Well, it was excellent. You know, look at the two prop forwards in Carl Ellison and Carl Fairbairn. They said he wasn't up to it. The back three, very mobile, very good defences he played, and the forwards, you know, they won the game for us today.
Looking forward to the next matches?
Very much so, yeah. We can't be over too confident. You know, Malcolm really, you know, would have picked some faults with performance. We'll look at the performance, we'll enjoy the night, and then go to camp next week and think about the second test.
Well done, Gary.
Thank you very much.
I think Jason Robinson seems as fresh as ever, John.
Yeah, he's a great prospect, and he'll be in the Great Britain side for a long while to come. He's a great player.
And Shaun Edwards, the man of the match. Paul Newlove, tired but happy, and non-happy, I think, than the coach, Mal Reilly. 6 years is a long time to be at the helm of a national side. But that's the tale, John, I think, isn't it? The 11 handling errors there for New Zealand that kept putting the pressure on them all the time, and the 33 minutes possession for Great Britain.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's done a great job with the side, Malcolm Reilly, and the fact is that he just keeps on improving the side, which is great.